Hi everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel and welcome to our offices. Woo! For the very first time. This is Jeff's desk and this is my desk. As you can see, completely different. Jeff's desk is decorated to the brim and I barely have any decorations, so I still need to decorate my desk, but that is not what today's video is about. Today's video is about brushes. I knew that was a bad idea. In today's video, I'm going to show you exactly what brushes you need. The first set of brushes is for your face makeup. So you can either do your foundation with a beauty sponge. This one is from Real Techniques and I really love this little sponge. It is perfect for either blending out your foundation or blending out any concealer that you have. Secondly, for foundation, you can also use a kabuki brush. Now, this is a kabuki brush. From the bristles, you can see that it is densely and tightly packed. This is perfect for blending out your foundation very quickly. And I am so sorry, but this brush is from Morphe, which is not available in South Africa. It is the Morphe Y6 brush. This is an absolute stunning brush. Maybe if you guys are done watching this video, you might want to order from Morphe because their brushes are excellent and there's a few staple brushes that I can't go without. But if you don't want to order from Morphe, just make sure that you look for a brush that is tightly packed like this. Then to set your face, you want to use a powder brush. Now, I personally love this powder brush from Real Techniques. As you guys can see, it is a big fluffy brush and it just makes the job so quickly because you literally go bloop, 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 then you're done. This is the Real Techniques brush and it is literally called the powder brush. This particular brush is from a brush set by Carla. Now, I personally like to use this brush actually for my bronzer. A person would usually use this for blush because it goes perfectly on the apples of your cheek, but I like to use this for my bronzer or my contour. And if I'm lazy, I will use this one for powder as well. For me personally, I love to use this brush from Morphe, the G5 brush for my blush. I just feel that because it is almost like pointy, it places the blush perfectly. I have also used this little brush from Mud for years, as you guys can clearly see. And this brush I love to use when I'm in a rush. I do my bronzer with it as well as my blush. I have never seemed to find a brush like this again. As you guys can see, it is not really tightly packed and this brush is absolutely stunning. The next brush is the Real Techniques setting brush, and I have to say this is probably one of my absolute favorite brushes. I will literally go and buy 10 of these because there are so many purposes for this little brush. I personally use this brush to set my highlighter. You can also use it to set the powder under your eyes. This is actually what it was made for, but I don't really do that ever. I more use it for highlight, as you guys can see. And then also, if I'm in a super rush, this makes the perfect brush for your crease. This brush is a definite must. So these are the brushes that you would need for your face. And you don't have to go and buy all these brushes. What I would say the essentials are definitely a beauty sponge, because that you can use either for your foundation or blending out concealer. Then this kabuki brush, if it is not this Morphe one, any other kabuki brush. Definitely a powder brush. Then I would go for a brush like this rather, that you can use for your bronzer and your blush. And then lastly, this brush is an absolute must. So these are my 5 essential face brushes. Now going on to eye brushes. So this is actually a concealer brush and it is by Salon Professionals. As you can see, it is a small little brush like this and it is very thin. So you would use this brush either to spot conceal, but what I use it mostly for is to do my cut creases. So this is a perfect little brush for cut crease. I'm doing this one first because it can go either in the face or the eye brushes. So a little concealer brush like this. Then the first eye brush that you would need is a big fluffy blending brush, and this one is also by Carla, and a person uses this brush to either apply your transition shades or to actually blend your makeup at the end. So firstly, a big fluffy blending brush. All these brushes with the little silver handle is from a mud brush collection. So this is the second brush I would say that you need, and this is like a tapered brush. Now what I mean by that is, as you can see, that it is almost a bit pointed, but it is still fluffy. It is not super dense. So what a person will do with this brush is, this is after you've applied your transition shade, for example, you would go into your darker color, for example, like what I did with my darker brown. You would dip this into brown and place it on the lid. So this one is more for your precise work, because if you use a big fluffy brush like this, you're literally going to get a blotch of dark shadow. So I would usually apply this with the little tapered brush and then blend out with my fluffy brush. This is another brush that I literally cannot go without, and I would literally just make a Morphe order just for this brush. This is the M433 Morphe brush. This is also a blending brush, but what makes it so special is, as you guys can see, it is almost pinched here. So it pinches and then it goes out, and this brush literally makes your blending process so much quicker. This brush is with this brush you literally blend. I even apply my darker shades with this. I can do a whole eye look just using this brush. The next brush is also a brush from Mud, and this is a little pencil brush. So this one almost looks like the kid of this one. So this is a little pencil brush, and what I do with this brush is I use it under my eyes for my inner corner highlight and for my brow bone highlight. Then I would also suggest getting a brush like this. As you guys can see, it is just a flat little brush like this. And this is perfect for packing on color onto your lid, for applying like a very shimmery shade. This brush I will also use to spray and pack on shimmer shade. So this is perfect for packing on some pigment. Then I would also suggest getting a little brush like this. This is just a slanted angled brush, and this brush is perfect for doing your eyebrows. So a person always needs a little brush like this. And lastly, I would suggest getting a spoolie. A person can really get very cheap spoolies, and this is just perfect for doing your eyebrows, for combing out your eyelashes and things like that. I would say that these are my 4 essential brushes. This one I will use for blending out my eyeshadows. This one I can use for blending and packing on color. This small little pencil brush I can use for under the eyes, and I can also use this to pack on color. And then this little concealer brush I can use to pack on pigmentation, and I can use it to conceal. These are my essential beginner brushes. I know it's quite a lot for beginner, but I did show you guys my essential needed, can't go without brushes. Please let me know if you guys are actually interested in me going into Clicks or Discam, for example, and showing you which brushes or which brush sets to buy to get the most bang for your buck. I would actually love to film that for you guys if that is something that you are interested in. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, comment down below, please consider subscribing as it really supports my channel, and ring the bell. Always remember, you are worthy, you are loved, and you are beautiful.